What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to SteveBussaGS. We got another scorecard reaction for y'all, and you already know what it is. Let's get it. Alright, man, before we get into this, quick PSA, take a knee. GSGang, take a knee. We gotta talk. So we got MaliwA, Believe, featuring, I believe it's pronounced Laetitia, Rayne, and Mikaela. If that's not correct, please just correct me down in the comments. Won't happen again. So look, this one got sent over to me, and it came with a lot of caveats, alright? So this cat was like, look, I got started a little bit later in life, you know what I'm saying? I'm just diving into this, yada yada. You guys know how that goes, right? And they're trying to like cushion it up. Now, if you guys have been on this channel for any given amount of time, you'll know that there's a process to how this works. So if you want to get your song onto my channel, you have to submit it and go through what's called quality assurance. I have a team that just knows my taste in music, and they go and they'll listen to it to make sure it scores roughly at least an 80 to get on the channel, because I don't want, like, my channel is not about negativity. Now, do bad ones get through that I have to trash sometimes? Yeah, but that's just life. It's got to have a spice of entertainment variety. My goal is never to shit on music, so I try to make sure that it'll score at least an 80 in their minds before sending it over. What does this do? This gets rid of just cats who don't have the audio equipment yet, right? If there's very clear distortion and it's like not actually listen toable because they recorded on a toaster, and like, yo, we're laughing at that, but it happens. Everybody has to start somewhere, and like, that's cool that you're at that part of your life. It's just not ready for the channel yet. There's no point in you getting chewed up when you know that your equipment's not there, and any given thing that goes along with that, right? If your flow is trash, if your writing is just not there yet, if there's something in there that's like, man, putting you in front of my audience would be worse for you than if I didn't do it. Does that make sense? Like, at the end of the day, I just want to help people. I just want to talk my shit, have some fun, find fucking gems that get added to my playlist, you dig? Now, with that being said, all the caveats, if you are out there and you are creating music and you want to go and submit some stuff, right? Please, never like downplay yourself. Like, this got through, he never had to say nothing to me, not a word. All I did was send this over to Quality, and Quality put it on the reaction list. That was it. He never had to devalue his efforts or at what point in his life he got started. None of that matters, because at the end of the day, if you're dope, you're dope. If you're a good writer, you're a good writer. You know what I'm saying? So like, I want this to be like a lesson to that. Like, this is I know for a fact before going into this that my quality team says that this is at least a good song. It might not be the best song you heard all year. It might not go directly on your playlist, but it's at least worth listening to. And if my quality team, and I'm a stickler, I'm an asshole, you guys already know that, if they think that about that, then this is directly to the cat, right? Then you need to think that about yourself, right? Like, that's the message. The message is like, man, have more faith in your craft. You don't ever try and downplay yourself. Don't ever try and be like, hey, this isn't as good as it could. Like, fuck all that out of here, right? Put your heart into it. Try your hardest. Put it out there. Take the feedback with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then just constantly get better. But that first step just never sits right with me. Where they're like, it's not gonna be like. Knock that off, man. We're here for fucking bars. We're here for flows, good messages, music theory, all that shit. I'm not here for excuses. That being said, we're gonna dive into this, and I'm excited about it because I hope that that's inspirational. I hope that someone's listening to this and they're like, you know what? You're right. I do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, on Twitter, I see people jump into cypher space and it's like, well, I'm not really a rapper, but man, shut the fuck up. Just go. Let us decide. Let us decide what your caliber is. You feel me? Like, that's how I look at that. But you're about to get into this. If you guys can do me a favor and run the gauntlet, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, a little bell notification guy. We about to eat, man. This joint is called Believe. Now, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Boom. See, that's a fire drop right off the bat. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. That was last me when Budden first did that. You got the new Joe Budden. They start put. Come on, man. I like that. That's a dope drop.
Get out my head and straight up believe. Get past my dread and will fear to leave. Cause anything you start has already been achieved. First step of faith is just to believe. Get out my head and straight up believe. Get past my dread and will fear to leave. Cause
alright, hook's a little stiff. It's a little stiff, right? This could be one or two things. This could be the production needing to add a little bit of some type of a plugin just to add a little bit of depth to it, right, on the production side of thing. Or this could be him literally reading it off of a thing he doesn't have it memorized yet, right? But listen to how crisp the end of each of the sentences are, right? It doesn't feel natural. It feels like someone's reading it. So we want to work on that a little bit. But again, that could not be him. That could be the production side. That could be the sound maybe that they said that they wanted to go for. But first thing that stands out is that.
It's already been achieved. First step of faith is just to believe. 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 First step of faith is just to believe. 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 First step of faith is just to believe. Dreams are all I have while my eyes stay open. Stargazing cause the sky's where I put my hope in. So I limp through this green day like my dreams are broken. I'm hoping my ambition is the gun that's smoking. Clutch player, so how do I stop from choking?
Alright, so my guy's got a little bit of a poetic flow. You can tell that the emphasis on this is going to be on the writing as opposed to the actual rap ability, the actual flow and delivery, right? This allows us to compartmentalize while listening to this and be like, man, let's really decide what it is that we want to focus on while describing this. His pen is going to be fucking dope. You can already kind of tell. I'm not expecting, though, some crazy chopper flow switches. You know what I'm saying? Like, understand that coming into it. So let's go now. Now we got a little taste for it. Let's bring it back from the beginning. Yeah, let's listen to it again. I also like that this is kind of like an animated still frame here.
Get out my head and straight up believe. Get past my dread and will fear to leave. Cause anything you start has already been achieved. First step of faith is just to believe. Get out my head and straight up believe. Get past my dread and will fear to leave. Cause anything you start has already been achieved. First step of faith is just to believe. 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 First step of faith is just to believe. 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 First step of faith is just to believe. Dreams are all I have while my eyes stay open. Stargazing cause the sky's where I put my hope in. So I limp through this green day like my dreams are broken. I'm hoping my ambition is the gun that's smoking. Clutch player, so how do I stop from choking? My hand on the hammer like my father Odin. So I ain't stopping.
Woo! See, let's go! And he got bars in there too. I wasn't expecting, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting it to be bars. I don't know why. I thought once we was in the poetic mode, I wasn't expecting a hand on the hammer like my father. Pops was Odin. I was not expecting that. Alright, he put a few in there. I see you, my guy. I see you. Okay. This is not just... Alright.
Stop from choking. My hand on the hammer like my father Odin. So I ain't stopping. Cause when my luck was rotten, I stayed on this path well trodden. My words keep rolling. These thoughts keep flowing. I can't sit still. This is poetry motion. I just needed focus on the drive that's potent. Finally took my chance. I seized that moment. W's on my back. Willie's proponent. Head in the game. My mind is my biggest opponent. I conquer the omen. I am barbarian like Conan. Robin Will I am in a society of poets. Get out my head and straight up believe.
Alright, let's go. Let's break it down. I hate your flow. We're not going to mince meat that, right? Like, we're not going to mince words with that. The flow definitely is powerful. Your biggest room for opportunity is to memorize your shit and say that shit to yourself a million times before you ever get in front of the mic. And if it doesn't sound natural, then that's when you need to go into it. Also, the mixing and mastering of it could definitely be polished up to help you along with that. Like the use of some better ad-libs. There's a lot of things that can go in there to make it sound more natural. That's the bad stuff. Get that out of the way. Those are your opportunities to get better. Your pen's not bad, dog. I like it. There's an actual message here, right? There's actual content to go in and pick apart. I like that a lot. I think that you're getting your point across. I think you're having a good blend of knowing, like, hey, let's throw a punch in here just to expand my audience outside of just those that are looking for spoken word over a beat and shit like that. The artistic direction of your tone and your pitch compared with the beat is 100% on point. It sounds like you know what you're doing from a music theory standpoint. literally the biggest flaw holding you back is just that delivery, which I believe is going to come with experience and confidence, right? Like you could even tell, like, and production. The production isn't great. So like even at the end of the hook where he's like, "Come and believe," and you heard him like pick his voice up and stuff like that. Those type of things can be tweaked a lot to sound a lot better. Even you put like just a little bit of reverb or a fade or just something, or maybe a delay on it. There's a lot of different tools that you can have from the production side, to where like even though it sounds like this now, you could send that same vocal track over to a more experienced engineer, for example, or one that's, you know what I'm saying, like maybe it could be budget things and things of that nature too, but like you could clean that up and you could walk out of here with the same exact hook that's there and just a more polished product on the end that's not even anything to do with the artist. You know what I'm saying? But no, this is what I'm talking. This is what I'm telling y'all. Don't downplay your shit. There's a lot of good things to say about this stuff, man.
Get past my dread and will fear to leave, cause anything you start has already been achieved. First step of faith is just to believe. Get out my head and straight up believe. Get past my dread and will fear to leave, cause anything you start has already been achieved. First step of faith is just to believe. 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 First step of faith is just to believe. 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 First step of faith is just to believe. My resolve absolute, like it came in a bottle. My esteem up the roof, so I don't need a coddle. My motto, make it by any means, keep my foot on the throttle. So I dive in head first, can't wait for tomorrow. I got a swimmer's instinct, no water I swallow. Cause these words are mine, I don't bite, no borrow. But if bars are my bow, then delivery my arrow. Keep it 100, my content ain't never been hollow. Do I refine it? Of course, co-indenting for the cause. Cause either way I win, ain't no way I take a loss. And this path that I'm on has no time for remorse. I will make it through the fire or by force. Word to C3, that's a talent I endorse. Keep putting in work until I do this with ease. Build my self-belief, enhance my expertise. Inspire a generation. Word. Get out my head and straight.
Oh, that was a really good fade into the hook. That all right. So I like that transition. The transition to the hook was super fucking dope. The flow was a lot better on the second verse, a little bit more polished up. Still sounds. It does have that amateur vibe that makes me believe that it's coming from the production side of things again. Again, pen wasn't bad. It was there. Not like, look, man. There's a lot of good shit to say about this. It's given me a very like homebrew, right? It definitely sounds like it's coming from a homebrew studio type shit. But if this is your baseline, if this is like Baby's first album that's getting put out and shit like that, this is a hell of a starting point. You know what I'm saying? It's not a contender for album of the year material just yet, but like if you're talking about, yo, like this is like my start of my fucking musical journey, bro, this is an excellent foundation to build upon. I'll tell you that right now. The stuff that you need to clean up is super manageable. You know what I'm saying? The pen on both of the cats that we've heard so far has been nice. The delivery, again, needs some polishing, but like that comes with experience, dog.
Believe, get past my dread and will fear to leave, cause anything you start has already been achieved. First step of faith is just to believe. Get out my head and straight up believe. Get past my dread and will fear to leave, cause anything you start has already been achieved. First step of faith is just to believe. Believe. Believe.
The hook is what's holding this song back. It's so stiff. This is, if you're wondering, like, yo, is this going to go on a personal playlist, or if my friend's putting this on a playlist, if they're not doing it, even if they fuck with you, it's because the hook is just very flat. You need to play around with some other elements of a song in terms of music theory in order to really sell this. Like, if you're going to do nothing to the hook, if you're not going to put plugins and shit like that in, then you better be Jadakiss. You better have some fucking bars in there that's like making us remember it. You know what I'm saying?
Faith is just to believe. 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 First step of faith is just to believe. I find myself amongst elite, water fearsome feet. I set the bar so high with goals I may not meet, but with challenges I thrive, man, I stays on my feet. Never get weary, my bars tap, dance to the beat. Got that freighter stair flow, just follow the fleet. How many lost this company? This is how I follow the fleet. Inspired by the grace.
You never want to do that. You never want to do that. So that right there is just terrible writing, all right? Watch how they start jumbling over their words and they try to speed it up to stay within the pocket that they had. Rewrite the bar. You have to rewrite the bar. this sounds so bad on track when you do this. Like, it's recorded. You know it's not just one take. Like, you can go and redo that, right? If the syllables don't match, rework the line. This is the worst thing you could ever do. You're never going to put on, what are they from? This is, I believe these cats are from Zambia, or they're at least associated with the cats from Zambia. Like, you're not going to look like, I have Critic on my personal playlist. I have Hoster on my personal playlist, right? You're not going to hear them rush on the track to try and get something to fit in like that. It takes the fucking the flow out of it, right? Like it pulls you out of the music there. It pulls you entirely out of the mood, and now all you're focusing on is that one little flaw. So like this is Baby's first taboo on this, right? The first thing, there's three things. The first thing is a flat hook. The second thing was the end of the hook with the believe. Like, we got to put plug in. We got to do something with that, right? We got to engineer that out. Flow was a little stiff on the first, and now this, as far as writing goes, rework this line. Those are your pointers for opportunity for improvement. Let's go.
Believe I find myself amongst elite, water fearsome feet. I set the bar so high, what goes I may not meet, but with challenges I thrive.
See, like, I love that. I don't want to just talk about the negative things. Like, this entire thing has a positive message. There's a lot of gems. There's like a lot of these bars in here. They might not be like haymakers in the battle scene, but they would be t-shirt. This is good merch. You would put that on a merch. Like, that's a bar, yo. Like, this is the type of shit where, like, I want my kids to listen to this type of music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want the message that my son's gonna hear from hip hop to be like, yo, I set goals that are like not just easy goals to grab, right? Like, I'm setting myself up to push and find my limits and stuff like that. There's really good content here, and I said that in the beginning. Like, I like the message behind this. Now we just got to work on the vessel that we're delivering it. That's all.
Water fearsome feet. I set the bar so high, what goes I may not meet, but with challenges I thrive, man. I stays on my feet, never get weary. My boss tab, dance to the beat. Got that afraid to stare.
See, like that, like, look how gully that was. That was so comfortable. They were so comfortable in that pocket.
Not me, but with challenges I thrive, man. I stays on my feet, never get weary. My boss tab, dance to the beat. Got that afraid to stare flow, just follow the fleet. How many losses company? This is how I follow the fleet.
And then right there,
by the grace I didn't succumb to defeat. I will not lose a motto, I tend to repeat. Infuse it like stains until the vision's complete. My fears are able to cane, no room for deceit. Killing you softly from flag, and lowering us still. Miseducated if I slack, but strong is my will. Cause
they've been scheming on this from the will.i.am bar before. Now we got the Lauryn Hill killing him, something like that. I see what you guys are doing. There's definitely a theme here. I'm following.
This path is a dream that your boy must fulfill. Was just a bucket list now. These dreams are for real. The harder the test, the bigger the win. And all I ever really needed to do was just to begin. Get out my head and straight up believe. Get past my dread and will fear to leave. Cause anything you start has already been achieved. First step of faith is just to believe. Get out my head and straight up believe. Get past my dread and will fear to leave. Cause anything you start has already been achieved. First step of faith is just to believe. 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 First step of faith is just to believe. 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 First step of faith is just to believe.
Because anything you start has already been achieved. First step of faith is just to believe. I believe.
Fire! Fire! Look, if you're gonna have a song where your strongest point is the message, right? And then you're gonna have the young bulls on the end coming to say that's artistic direction. That's a beautiful way. I wouldn't change nothing about that. I feel bad for shitting on the fucking hook now. But like, nah, like that was really good. I like that a lot. And that's my point. That's my point. That's the target audience for this stuff. Like, the target audience for this song is not the fucking agnostic battle rapper, you know what I'm saying? That's here for the violence and shit like that. I'm not necessarily a person written for this. But if you're telling me like, yo, I want the youth to listen to this and start instilling good messages into their head and shit, bro, I'm here for that. Like, let's go. Like, you're on the right path. You're on the right path. Right? You might not be where you want to be yet. You might still be in the beginning of your journey. But the trajectory of what I think you're thinking up here and what your hands and voice are able to create, I think you're on the right path, my guy. Let's go. We are going to pull this up on the scorecard, though. You guys know the routine. Let's see how much we really liked it. Boom. Let's get small. We are small. Yeah, we are brand new to everyone here. If this is new to the channel, in order for us to become a fan of you, you got to catch at least 3 of them. I'm not gonna give it to him for this one. I'm not gonna give. We're gonna put 0 for 1. 0 for 1. All right. Nah, 1 for 1. I don't know. I want to be supportive, but I want to push them too, right? Like I want to see improvement. Like I'm gonna say 0 for 1 on this one. I'm gonna stick to my guns. I want to see improvement. But again, as far as the basis goes for this is definitely solid. Target audience for this one. So I'm just putting no, like just flat out. We just went over this. I'm not the target audience. That doesn't take away from it. Proper setting for this. See, like, family time. Like here, what do I mean by family time? Like I see this being a jaunt where it's like, man, it's Sunday. I'm cleaning the house. I want to blast some shit that's uplifting. Like if that's the vibe of the household, like the young bulls are here, I don't want to put booty shaking music on while the young bulls are listening. I respect it, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that's kind of where I would see this getting fit into. Bars and lyrics, I think this is probably the strongest situation. I would give it a solid 18 out of 25. There were a couple that were in there that were really good. There was definitely a theme throughout that I liked. Delivery or vocals, this is your biggest opportunity for. Now look, the second cat came in, that second verse came in with a gully ass delivery. I liked that a lot. Ended up, you know, I mean, being okay by the end of it, but there was definitely portions in here where there was like, yo, this is pretty dope. Out of 25, I'll give it a 15. I'll give it a 15 out of 25. 15 out of 25. Beat selection. Now this was basically perfect. I think the beat for what they were trying to achieve on this was completely cohesive. And again, the entire artistic direction around that, if you listen to their tone, if you listen to the pace on this, right, all of the things that go into the music theory around this were actually really good outside of the actual delivery itself. So 15 out of 15. Sound quality or mixing, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Or 9 out of 15. This is where I think, if my people were this inexperienced coming into this, right, and this was like, I knew this and I'm an experienced engineer, now I don't know that the engineer was necessarily someone that's experienced and they paid for, I don't know what the situation is, but this track by itself in the way that it is now could have been elevated with an elite engineer behind it, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 15. Effectiveness. Does this make you want to tap into more from the artist? Absolutely. Like, I am excited to watch somebody on their journey. This is really great for people who want to get in on the ground level of someone that shows an innate skill set, right? And a trajectory and a vision that are cohesive. Not a lot of people have that, right? This doesn't sound like every other track that you would expect somebody's first album to sound like. You know what I mean? There's definitely more of a message. There's definitely more of a goal behind the album. I like all of that. Would I be interested in hearing more from them to see their development down the line? Absolutely. I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10. Enjoyability. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. This is not my type of music. I'm never going to listen to this again. I'm never going to put this back on. It's not going on a playlist. This was a thought experiment. This was like an essay. Like, go ahead and listen to it and figure out what's the good, what's the bad, break it down, right? I wouldn't stop my kid from listening to it. I wouldn't turn it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, this is where you have to take into consideration. Up top, we say, am I the target audience for this? So out of enjoyability, I give it a 4 out of 10. 68 out of 100. That's my score. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I will catch y'all on the next one. Let's go.